everyone, welcome back to Judging Nerd Culture. I'm Jess.
And I'm Ollie.
Today we are going to talk about the new year. Thankfully, we're done with 2022. I'm sure 2023 will be just as much of a hot mess.
Well, I mean...
But we have some, at least, some things that we can distract ourselves with in media. In video game world.
Yes. And let's all be honest, 2023 and 2022 was maybe better than 2020.
Oh yeah. I think it was better. It was just also bad.
Yeah. No, the bar is extremely low. The bar is so very low that the president not being a Nazi is a solid win.
Yes.
So
I know Biden isn't like the best president we've ever had or anything, and that people are going to find conspiracies about him and, you know, get dirt on him, because that's just how it goes in politics. It doesn't matter if you're the most famous president or not. And I just love that the whole thing about his son's emails was just nudies.
yeah, I'm sure
That is hilarious.
I'm sure that there may be some other stuff on there, but all that really happened was he picture of his dick got on the internet, and the president was like, "Hey, can you get that off there?"
I think that might be one of my favorite things that has happened this year, because everyone expected it to be, you know, selling information or, like, you know, something big and scandalous, and it was just his little pee-pee.
His little 40-year-old man pee-pee. That's a grown man.
I call every pee-pee a pee-pee though.
Right.
You know, everyone, it's just all little pee-pee.
It's also funny, the fact that it's Biden and his son, because Biden is 80 years old and his son is also a fully grown adult man who's at this point pretty old. It sounds like a story about, like, a dad who's just, like, you know, doing his best, and a son who's like 18, 20 something.
This has to turn into, like, a comedy movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they've had those political comedies, like the one where Seth Rogen and James Franco
The Interview.
Yeah, The Interview. Like, they've had political comedies before, and a comedy about the president's son trying not to let his nudes leak. It would be hilarious.
It's the adult sequel to The President's Daughter.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry I brought that up. I just thought it was pretty funny. It was a pretty funny thing that happened this year. Lots have happened this year. And honestly, sometimes it feels like things happened this year, and really they happened in 2019.
Yeah.
And it was so weird. Which just gives into the people who are, you know, into the conspiracy that we've gone through different dimensions or whatever.
Our times have split into different parallel dimensions. The last 3 or 4 years have been condensed into one extremely long, awful year.
Yeah, winter has come.
But summer's coming soon.
Yes.
As it is the new year. And I gotta say, there's plenty of things to be excited for in 2023 that aren't nonsense political bullshits.
Yes.
There's fun. Hopefully.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we are going to talk about some of the things we're excited for when it comes to movies, TV shows, and video games. I also have one book. I would probably have more, but I just decided to do the one.
I can add a book right now.
The Holy Bible.
No. The Action Bible, the Holy Bible, but as a comic book.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a real thing. Yeah. I've never read it, but it's the only version of the Bible that interests me a little bit.
The new simulation game that is just, I am Jesus Christ. Doesn't everyone just once in a while want to know what it was like to be Jesus Christ?
I know how that story ends, and no, I don't. Strongly don't.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, let's start off with TV. I feel like that's both of our shortest lists.
Yes. I have one.
So, I think one of them is the same for both of us.
Yeah.
Last of Us.
Yes, absolutely. So excited for that.
The Last of Us is one of those games that came out, and I was like, this is just a TV show, like a movie that they made into a video game, but, like, there's no movie.
Yeah, the cutscenes were just so beautiful. And the plot was so interesting and like not something you usually find in a video game.
Mm-hmm. Also, the guy they picked to play Joel.
Oh my god, perfect.
Yes.
It's perfect. He looks exactly like Joel. And I know there's always people out there who are like, they're not this, the mermaid's not black. Well,
yeah.
She's a mermaid, so she could be blue. It doesn't matter. But even though he's Hispanic or whatever, he looks exactly like Joel.
He does. He gives off the exact same
tan.
He's a tan white man. Nope, that's very mean. Very rude thing to say, but still, like, yeah, no, he as soon as I saw him as the character in the one trailer we had, I was like, oh yeah. I can see him getting dirty and scruffed up.
Yeah. Excuse me, the little girl, Ellie.
Who's not Elliot Page anymore.
No, it's not Elliot Page, because that would be weird.
Yes.
It'd be like Grease, where 50-year-old people play 17-year-olds.
Yeah. But that character was based on them, right?
I know think so.
There's 2 games that came out at the same time, like around The Last of Us. One of them had Elliot Page as like the person, like it was on purpose, and the other one was like, well, we want them too, but we can just make the character look like that because it's a video game.
Yeah, and then like I think Elliot Page like sued them or something.
Something like that. I don't know which one was which.
But the little girl who plays Ellie, I don't know. Like she doesn't look exactly like the video game Ellie, but I don't know. I feel like she'll do a good job at like just capturing who Ellie is.
Mm-hmm. I don't actually remember who the girl is.
I don't remember her name, but I know she did have a part in Game of Thrones. There are so many good actors in The Last of Us, and I am so excited for it. The last like really big infection undead sort of TV show was The Walking Dead, or at least that's what I'm aware of. The last one that was like super popular and everyone knew at least what it was. Okay. And I feel like Last of Us might rival it. I think it might go beyond Walking Dead.
Well, and
potentially.
I think in terms of like, in terms of high end quality, I think so. I think they're gonna throw the budget at this thing.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Walking Dead is great, and especially in the early seasons, and like the makeup and the whatever is very good. But it had, regular TV budget.
Yeah.
They're gonna go full like HBO budget.
That's true. I'm just so excited to see all of the weird, mushroomy creatures. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, because that's another thing. The zombies in Last of Us are far more interesting than the zombies in.
And people would say, Ollie, they are not zombies. They are infected with the spores or whatever. They're not actually zombies.
Eat my ass.
Yeah,
they're zombies.
They're zombies. They died and now they are something else.
Thank you for being the entire internet. So I can tell you to shut the fuck up. That is so lame.
And I know that it's a TV show, so it won't have every scene and every like detail and point that the game has. But do you remember the scene where Joel takes Ellie on horseback through the city and they go to the zoo and they see the giraffe?
Yeah.
That is such a beautiful scene, and I wonder if they'll do that in the TV show.
They have to. It's one of the most memorable scenes in the game.
It really is. I also want them to, like, go through an abandoned shop and see, like, a Jack and Daxter thing.
They do have references to it in the game, don't they?
They do. Jack and Daxter and Uncharted. So it'd be just kind of funny.
Ooh, man. I think making it into a TV show more than a movie is a good choice, and that the Uncharted movie was bad.
Well, we haven't seen it, by the way. We have not watched the Uncharted movie.
I just looked at it and can smell it. Do you think this picture is from? Is this picture from The Last of Us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah, we are looking at a photo right now on Ollie's tablet.
I'll put it up probably.
Yeah, that's Ellie, and I forget the name of the woman who helps them at the beginning.
But she betrays them later on, right?
I don't think she betrays them, but she does die.
Let's be honest. Anyone who isn't Joel or Ellie in the first game just dies.
Yeah. Oh man, if they get far enough in this series, to where Joel, spoiler alert,
Gets-
gets brutally murdered. That's gonna be visceral.
That's gonna be a good scene.
Oh my god. We're talking way too much about Last of Us now.
Alright, moving on to the next thing.
Yeah, I want to do movies now. TV to movies.
Okay.
Or did you not?
I thought we were just gonna go through all the TV.
Oh yeah, you have more than I do, so go for it.
Yeah, I have two more that I'm very excited for. One of which I figured you would have on yours.
Tokyo Revengers?
Yeah, because
Well,
you
I
loved this show for some
I
reason.
do love Tokyo Revengers, but I don't know, I guess I don't consider it a TV show.
It's a TV show.
I know. But like my brain is like TV show and anime, different things. Because a TV show is on like, I don't know, your television, a cable, HBO, Netflix, whatever you watch, and then anime is on like
Well,
anime site.
not anymore. Tokyo Revengers is apparently going to be exclusively on Disney Plus.
Which is extremely weird. I didn't know it was a Disney thing.
It's not. I think Disney's just started to buy up anime because
I don't like that.
I also don't like that.
We need to we need to all come together
And ruin Disney.
and ruin Disney. Take it apart, brick by brick.
The same.
Everybody gets a little piece.
The same thing that Reddit did with GameStop. We need to do in reverse. Just
Yeah.
ruin Disney.
Disney is like one of those corporations where you're gonna look forward in the future like 50 years and it's gonna be post-apocalyptic and they're gonna be like Disney is the one who destroyed us all. You know what I mean?
And I believe
like
it.
the one power. The Illuminati is just Disney at this point.
Pretty much.
It is just Disney and Meyer.
And
I don't know. I just want to throw in Meyer.
that's a very Michigan-specific Illuminati.
I don't know. Yeah. Walmart. There you go. No, I feel like Walmart wouldn't be let into the Illuminati.
Nah, they're too,
Costco.
yeah. This
Target.
is absolute nonsense.
Okay, anyway.
But yeah, I'm very excited for Tokyo Revengers.
Yes.
Just because first season was a fucking
It
banger.
was a hoot.
I'm excited to see if any of them live or how they change and all that, the stuff
God.
that happens. I'm excited for it.
Those little boys, little gang bangers.
So that's exciting. And I'm also really excited for, it hasn't been specifically announced, but it's rumored to be coming out in 2023, Tower of God Season 2. It's a webtoon specific manga, I guess, comic, whatever, that got an anime through Crunchyroll. And for a while, people have been waiting for Season 2. Season 1 was pretty good. I liked it. Didn't exactly follow perfectly, but hey, nothing does. And yeah, they haven't even announced which studio is the one doing it, producing it. But the rumors are still saying 2023. So here's
fingers
hoping.
crossed. There are a few things that I have wished for year after year, and the announcement has never come. So I hope for your sake that you get this.
Me too. All right, but that's all I got for TV shows because I'm enlightened and anime is TV.
And now I am the one who has more movies. Let's start with your list of something smaller.
All right, so one of the movies I'm most excited for in the coming years is Shazam 2 because Shazam 1 was fun. It didn't get as much love and publicity as a lot of the other, comic book movies, but gosh darn it, I felt like it had just the right energy.
Yeah.
And like, I've watched it at least a couple times, just once it came out and it was available on streaming sites and stuff. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Yeah, it's really fun and like upbeat and dorky.
And it has possibly one of the it has the perfect kind of ending for the kind of movie it was. All of the brothers and sisters coming together and getting their superpowers too, and like it was a big fun scene. And having a whole movie that's like, we're all heroes now, let's fuck around.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
And I think, now don't quote me on this, but I think the guy is named Jason Levi or something like that. He plays the adult
Shazam.
I think he does a spectacular job of pretending to be like a 16-year-old boy. And it's so funny and it's so good. And I'm actually pretty excited for Shazam 2. When we saw the trailer, I was kind of stoked about the old lady, the gods.
Yeah, the bad guys.
They seem pretty cool.
They could be like Wonder Woman's Amazonians, but like I don't think they are.
I don't know. I'm also a sucker for like seeing characters you like seeing the older version of them, or like just a different version of them, and we get to see the older versions of all of his siblings. So that's fun.
They're all very fun. The different ages of them, the different superhero versions of them are like really cool. I like that each one kind of gets something they really want out of it too. Like the brother who has some sort of disability or whatever and can't really walk very well. His main superpower is super speed because he just wants to. And I'm like, good for you.
Yeah.
Get what you want.
Yeah.
Do you want to go or do you want me?
Sure. I do have quite a list here, so I'll only do like, oh my god, my pen's stuck. I'll only do the top, like, you have 3, I'll do my top 3, okay?
Sounds good to me.
So the ones that I am most excited for, well, number 1 is Barbie. I'm really excited for Barbie. I was a Barbie girl, as you say.
In a Barbie world.
In a Barbie world. I really loved Barbies. I did, after a while, lean towards Mycene and Bratz dolls, which, I mean, come on. Once you get older, I feel like those are the dolls you lean towards just because they're, like...
Saucy?
They're the cooler ones, you know? Yeah, like the more mature adult ones. Even though Barbie does give birth and it has so many jobs.
Yeah, but does she wear a sexy crop top?
She doesn't, and she doesn't go to parties and clubs and stuff. Which she might, I don't know.
She goes to charity balls and galas.
Exactly. I mean, now it's not so much Bratz dolls, it's like LOL girls or whatever, but there's also Monster High, which is pretty cool. So I'm really excited to see the Barbie movie, and really excited to see all the different versions of Ken, because those seem so fun. I know Simu Lu? I can't pronounce it very well.
I don't even know.
Oh, 10 Rings.
Oh, I don't fucking
Legend
remember.
of the Rings guy.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Okay.
It's not Simu.
It's not Simu. You guys are just gonna have to bear with me and just pretend you understand who I'm talking about. He's gonna be in it. He's a version of Ken. So is I'm just forgetting everyone. The Notebook.
Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Nkuti Gandwa? Nkuti.
Goody Gag.
He's from Sex Education.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Will Ferrell is in this? I did not know that, and that makes me really happy.
Doesn't say who he is, though.
So is Kate McKinnon. Sign me up, baby.
Is she another Barbie?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe she's like an older Barbie.
No.
Oh, Michael Cera! Ugh! Yeah, right there. Nkuti Gatwa. He's gonna be another version of Ken. I remember growing up, my sister had Steve, which was just Ken, but black. And I guess they decided this can't be a version of Ken. He's just Steve. Mm-hmm. And she freaking loved that Barbie. And I remember his leg fell off, like it broke off, and she taped it back on.
We are looking at how to pronounce the name of this Canadian actor, writer, and stuntman. If you want to know how to pronounce the name,
I have used this guy so much.
That he's going to be in our native English, so to stay tuned. How do you pronounce his name? Simu Liu.
You're right.
Simu
Liu.
So Julian Mikkel. I use him a lot when I can't pronounce something. It's like, how do you pronounce this? He's the first thing that pops up on Google every time. But yeah, I'm super excited for Barbie because it just seems real goofy, real silly, real great, and I'm so in love with the idea. And now that I know Michael Cera, Kate McKinnon, Will Ferrell, I would love Will Ferrell to be a version of Ken so much. That would be so funny.
For a moment here, Ariana Greenblatt. I don't know who that is, but I thought, is that Ariana's real last name?
That'd be so funny.
And sorry about that, Ariana Greenblatt. Your picture was very tiny.
That's funny. So yeah, Barbie.
Barbie.
3 tickets to Barbie, please.
3?
It's a meme. It's a meme
Okay.
on the internet.
I'm old, apparently. Write it right here in my heart. But my turn. In 2023, apparently, another really good superhero movie is coming out, and I'm extremely excited for it. And that is The Spider-Verse 2.
Yes.
3? 2.
Just Into the Spider-Verse, I think, it's just Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the next Spider-Verse movie, whatever
Yeah,
the...
that's the next Spider-Man movie that's coming out.
And, I don't know, I'm just very excited. The Spider-Verse is probably one of the best representations of the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah, this is where we meet. Well, this is where Toby. This is where Miles Morales meets Tom Holland's Spider-Man, right?
Apparently, that was like a clip of it. And whether that's in this movie or that was just like a after credit sequence somewhere, whatever, who knows?
Yeah.
But that's exciting.
It's really exciting. I love Miles Morales and his movie. His movie was spectacular.
He's a great character altogether. There's this thing about him that I really enjoy that comes up in the comics a lot and comes up in a few of the shows and games and whatnot. Is he has this issue that he has often about he is black and Hispanic, but no one ever remembers the Hispanic part. It's a consistent thing with his character. It comes up in a few different bits of media, movies, TVs, whatever, and I just think it's funny that that's one of the things that's like a part of his character. It's like, man, I'm both of these things, but they only ever see black. And like, it's not like he's upset that he's black or this or that. It's just that he's upset that he's seen a certain way because of whatever reason.
Yeah, because of his skin.
Yeah. And I'm just
Yeah.
I feel you. It's cool.
It's a interesting narrative that you don't really see very often, or at least I am a white person, so I don't see very often, and or experience anyway, and I think like that is true to life, like when I met you, right, and you were like, I'm Cuban, whatever, Spanish stuff.
Continue.
Really funny. I'm a little embarrassed now.
Whatever Spanish stuff, keep going.
Well, my point is that after a while, you told me that people in Cuba, there's a lot of people who are darker, like a lot of I feel like people are watching me and calling me racism.
No, there's a
lot of black folks in Cuba.
Yes, Cuba is extremely black populated, extremely large black population.
That's not something that like occurs to me, since like all I ever get from like media and stuff is like, oh, Hispanics are like Mexican. You know what I mean? Like it's always.
There's also blacks in Mexico.
I know. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like in media, there's always like Mexican or like Puerto Rican or something, and they're always just kind of tan.
Yeah.
It's never like you never really see a black-skinned Hispanic.
And when you do, like, they're usually not cast in that role. Like, they are just meant to represent whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I am the classic skin tone for someone who is Hispanic in media. Despite the fact that in Cuba, I'm the white guy there. Like, when we went there when I was younger, like, that was a thing that I had to kind of understand. It's like, around there, I was the light-skinned one. And it was weird. And I don't think it's ever really going to be fixed in media. Because it's easier to represent an entire group of people with, like, an idea, a color, or whatever.
They try to break it up into more than one.
Exactly. But I appreciate a character like Miles Morales that does at least highlight these things, and it's not.
He does use Spanish words.
Yeah, all the time, and like, it's not the most important part of the character, because another part is that he's Spider-Man, and Spider-Man. The whole point of Spider-Man is that it could be anyone, as long as it got bit by a rodeo, a spider, or fucking whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm excited for. Another Spider-Verse. You can never have enough Spider-Verse.
You can never have enough Spider-Man. Oh my god, I love Spider-Man.
Agreed.
He is probably my top favorite superhero ever.
Ever?
Yeah, like I like the speedsters, and I like Iron Man. Like I like heroes from Marvel and from DC, and I know there's other brands of superhero.
Image, Dark Horse,
Yes, but I don't know. There's just something about Spider-Man that is just so great.
Yeah, he's the classic down to earth superhero.
Yeah, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
It's literally in the title.
My next one is Knock at the Cabin.
Ooh, is that the one with
Yes.
Yeah. With Ronald Weasley and the wrestler man.
Yes. Dave Bautista, I think.
Yeah, not John
Yes.
Batista.
I said Dave.
I know. I
was thinking John though.
That's what I was.
You did read my mind.
That's why I said it. Because I read your mind and knew.
Yes, and Rupert Grint. I think maybe Jonathan Groff is in it. He plays Jesse in Glee, and he doesn't play Olaf. I think he's Kristoff.
I don't know,
guys.
I think he plays the king in
He does play the king in Hamlet. Hamilton.
in Hamlet.
Hamlet. Yes, I love that. I love that Broadway musical.
Probably is one.
It probably is one. But it is, I do believe it's an M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie.
Yeah, which doesn't bode well, but...
Yeah, it's going to have a weird twist at the end, I know. But the fact that it has Rupert Grint and Dave Bautista in it, I am just so excited to see them interact and to act side by side. So I think the idea of the movie is that this family, their two dads and a daughter, go to this cabin for a little getaway vacation and are attacked by these intruders, Dave Bautista, Rupert Grint, and I believe a couple more people who are saying, yes, Jonathan Groff, I was right, score.
And you are right, two more people that have weapons on the cover.
Yes. But they claim, I believe... No, he's not in it. Never mind, that was just a side thing. I got too excited, okay? Leave me alone. Let's see, any other familiar faces? It doesn't seem like I know any other familiar faces.
I like that this person, I don't know who she is just credited as churchgoer saying Lord's Prayer.
Yeah. But they are attacked by these home invaders, claiming that I believe this family has a choice to make, and it will decide the fate of the world. So it seems like they might have to kill their daughter or something. I'm not sure. Obviously, there's going to be a weird twist because of the person who made this movie.
Oh yeah, it's probably some time travel bullshit. Your daughter's meant to be the evil king of the world or some shit.
Yeah. But I'm just kind of excited for it because of Rupert Grint and Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista is probably one of the better actors to come out of WrestleMania. Or
honestly,
whatever the fuck it's called.
Because he's so real. And I know that sounds eye-rolling, but I remember him saying that he doesn't want to be in Guardians of the Galaxy anymore because he just doesn't want to try to keep up with all those muscles anymore. Because he's old and he just wants to relax. And honestly, I loved that because it's just so, I don't know, it makes him more human, I guess.
Yeah.
And also John Cena.
John Cena's a lot of fun.
Not the Punisher. I always want to say the Punisher, but he's not.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker is so good.
Peacemaker is very funny.
That is such a good show,
and
he does such a good job for what kind of personality and character he is portraying.
Mm-hmm. John Cena's been in a lot of different movies, and without a doubt, he excels at comedy.
Yes.
He that is his bread and butter.
Mm-hmm. There are a few pretty heartfelt scenes in Peacemaker, which I think he does a pretty good job in. Yeah,
I don't think they're bad or anything. I'm just saying, him being funny is natural.
Yeah, he's so good at it.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, John Bautista.
like I haven't seen him in too many things, but the things I have seen him in, like I think he's got more of a classic range. Like I think
Yeah, he's got the chops to be a comedy guy, and like Knock at the Cabin, which is like a mystery suspense, I guess.
yeah, something real tense, thriller esque. Because like he's also in this. Him and Rupert and the other two, who's I've never seen before, are the bad guys, but also possibly the heroes. Like everything is.
Sorry, got my phone. Sorry, guys.
Everything about this movie seems like it's tense and very dramatic. And the few clips I've seen with him in it, like I don't know, I'm excited to see him portray these characters, the character in his role. I think I'm excited for the whole movie. Actually,
It looks very good. Not only is Dave Bautista a very good actor. I haven't watched Rupert Grint in a lot of things. He's in Harry Potter. He's Ronald Weasley, and he is in a few other things that here and there that I have seen, but nothing like on a bigger scale. Not like a big like Hollywood production, I'm excited to see him again. And I also think Jonathan Groff is a pretty darn good actor.
I agree. I think.
And singer. I love Lost in the Woods.
Yeah.
What's your next movie?
Next movie, my last movie that I'm excited to see is Dungeons and Dragons, the movie.
Yes.
I don't really have a lot of expectations for it because anytime someone tries to, take a franchise and make it into whatever, it can be a bit hit or miss.
Yeah.
But there are some things that I've been hearing about this movie that do excite me. Part of it is the trailer. In the trailer you can see each of these characters are clearly a class and a race and all this stuff. It's like, all right, so they're getting to the core of the mechanics of D&D. But beyond that, the interactions between the characters, very fucking stupid. And if that's not D&D, nothing is.
Yeah, just having fun with it and saying stupid things.
The dumbest things possible. And it makes sense that if you're going to make this movie, you have to have the main character be a bard because they are the comedy and emotional core of a lot of games because they're the ones that are more likely to enter those scenarios where they have those long conversations or whatever else because they're the ones that can roll well to make it happen in game. So it makes sense to make that kind of character the center of the movie.
And the fact that it's Chris Pine who is the bard is kind of magical.
Chris Pine is going to do a great job.
I remember hearing that when he got the script for it, his kids were so excited that he had accepted a Dungeons and Dragons movie. And he was like, oh, why are you guys so excited? And so they basically taught him how to play Dungeons and Dragons, and now he's a giant advocate for it, and he thinks it should be a thing that all kids do because it brings people from all walks of life together, and it's a very relationship and community building game, and I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. And any tabletop game is just a great way to practice improvisation and interpersonal skills that you don't actually just get to do every single day.
Yeah.
Obviously it depends on who you're playing with, but it's good.
Oh my god, it'd be hilarious. 1,000% not gonna happen. But if they had a cameo of Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be so funny.
It'd be so good.
He's just a bartender or something.
It'd be more likely that they get the Critical Role guy whose name I'm blanking on right now.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah, but that'd be great too.
It'd be so good. I don't know much about Critical Role. I know it's very popular, and honestly, I also don't watch a lot of Dimension 20, but I do know Dropout, and I do know Brennan, and well, not personally, but
that would be amazing.
That would be pretty dope. Allie has told me Izzy and I have similar traits, you said.
Yeah, I
Which
think
is kind of cool. Thank you for that.
I think you have similar joke styles, which is bad. Bad jokes. It's the main thing.
I don't know about that. But I don't know. I would prefer Brennan. I think that it would just be so funny.
I too would
And
prefer.
so amazing. Or Lou.
Oh, Lou's great.
Lou's great. I love Lou.
There's one thing that I want from this movie. Mm-hmm. I want a character to die. And then, like, 10 minutes later into the movie, they find someone, different class, or maybe they look at fucking this, they act the same class, they look exactly the same. It's like, I happen to be their cousin or something. And then they just join the party. Because character death is important to the game. And I want...
Or somebody, like, trying to romance, like, a slime. You know?
Yes.
Trying to romance a dragon. Like, the stupidest thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
If the bard doesn't try to fuck the dragon, it's not D&D.
Man, yes.
Man, I'm excited for it. It seems like it has the right energy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the making the bard the main character is the smart choice, and all in all, I think it's gonna be better than the World of Warcraft movie for sure. So yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. Stupid World of Warcraft movie.
Warcraft, I think it was just called.
And then Henry Cavill.
Oh no, you're talking about
Was that World of Warcraft movie?
No. He left The Witcher and Superman to do Warhammer 40K.
Warhammer, Warcraft. Are they any different? I'm gonna get yelled at for that. Man, you said it right when we talked about this a little while ago. He's just gonna be known for never finishing things.
Yeah, he's not gonna finish a single
What a
franchise.
disappointment for The Witcher to have to now be a Hemsworth.
Be one of the budget Thors.
Chris Hemsworth is pretty good. Thor: Love and Thunder was hilarious, and I liked it, so everyone can suck it. But Liam Hemsworth, I don't know. Like, I guess he does need more work, but I don't think it needs to be The Witcher.
Wasn't he in the Hunger Games or something?
Yes, he was not Peeta.
Oh,
he was Gale.
He was in the love triangle.
He was in the love triangle, and she ends up picking Peeta because, like, obviously they've gone through trauma together, so they're bonded. Also,
like, he's just better.
He is just better, and he knows how to make fresh bread.
And he knows how to toss an 80-pound sack over his shoulder like
apparently he knows how to very detailed paint his face in the middle of the forest while he's in pain.
Yeah.
And dying.
No description about why he learned how to do that. He's a fucking
there is.
baker.
It's because he does cakes.
Oh.
That's the reason. I'm pretty sure in the book they say Peeta does really nice detailed cake painting, fondant, whatever, so he can really nicely camouflage himself while he is dying in the bush. He paints himself to look like The Rock.
What the fuck do his cakes look like? What is he selling these cakes for? They gotta be going to the main city. They are fucking good.
I don't know, but Josh Hutcherson is fantastic. He's also amazing in comedies. Future Man is so bad.
Oh my god, that guy. Yeah, I forgot that's who he was. I forgot who Peter was. Fuck.
Future Man is so bad and so good at the same time.
It is exactly what it wants to be.
It's exactly what it needs to be. Anyway. I'm not talking about Hunger Games.
Anymore.
The prequel is coming out soon, though.
Yeah.
Which,
Is that one not on your list?
No, it's not.
Anything else on your list?
Yes, one more. Well, I have more. Like Cocaine Bear and John Wick and Renfield. But the one I am most excited for out of all of them, out of the three, I guess, that I've said, Barbie, Knock at the Cabin, and Evil Dead Rise.
Ooh.
So, I think it's like possibly coming out 2023. I don't know if it has like a certain date yet, but I'm super excited for it. It's been a few years since the Evil Dead reboot movie. Who I believe it was by Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi.
The guy who made the Spider-Man?
I think so. I think that's who it's by. I could be wrong. I could be very, very, very wrong. But I'm really excited for it. I know some people didn't like it that much because it wasn't like the originals. The originals are a little campy and they're horror based, but they're also like kind of goofy and silly. I mean, he cuts his arm off and shoves a chainsaw on it. In the reboot, her brother does, I believe, get his hand cut off. So it's kind of like, are they going to put a chainsaw on it sort of thing? But I do believe he dies.
I don't remember.
It's been a while since I've also seen the Evil Dead reboot. But the reboot movie was, I don't know if it was a reboot movie or if it was just like a sequel. Like years and years and years and years and years later.
And I think it follows the premise too similarly to be a sequel.
Yeah, I think it might just be a reboot because they do find the journal, the Necronomicon in the basement.
God, that's a dumb name.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like saying it. It's fun.
Necronomicon.
But
it sounds like a joke in a Fable game or like in one of those games.
Yeah. Well, the first movie, the original series was kind of campy and silly. Yeah. But this reboot one was more serious, very gruesome, and I liked it very much. There were some parts where it was kind of hard to watch, but I dug how much blood there was, because I'm a little weirdo.
And you're right, it was Sam Raimi.
Okay. But I just want to know where they go from here, because in the reboot movie, at the end, it starts raining blood. So like hell on earth. And so I'm really curious to see what Evil Dead Rise is going to entail. Is she going to be the hero? Is she going to be Campbell? Is she going to be Bruce Campbell?
Bruce Campbell?
Campbell? Yeah. Because there's so much that potential and possibility with this movie. And I like spooky, so...
I'm also excited because like it is so different from the originals in terms of like tone that like the other ones, you said, shoves a fucking chainsaw on his stump and goes to town. That's more Doom Eternal than horror.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how they merge that because like
in one of them, Bruce goes to medieval times. He's transported and he defeats an army of the dead. That was the very first Bruce Campbell movie I had ever seen as a youngling, and it was so weird, so incredibly weird. I hadn't even seen the original Evil Deads as Evil Dead, and I still have only watched part of the first one, original Evil Dead. I will try to watch it again. I don't know if it's really up my alley, but we'll see.
We'll see.
I just think it's so wild, and maybe they'll transport this girl, this main character, into medieval times, and she'll have to defeat another army of the dead.
Maybe so.
But moving on.
All right, so let's move on to what's anticipated games. Video games. So I'll go first because I have one on here that I'm excited to play, but the chances of me actually playing it are slim to none.
Okay.
I'm really excited for the game Forspoken. It's, from what I can tell, an isekai where you're some lady from New York and you get magically transported into a magic world, a la Final Fantasy, because it's like Square Enix that made it, so it's very of that style. And you just have magic powers. You go around blasting shit and doing who knows what.
You have a sentient cuff.
Cuff?
Yes. It's also on my list.
Yeah.
And there's a, it's like a golden, it looks kind of like a snake cuff that goes around the arm from like the wrist to almost the elbow, and it talks to you. But,
Okay.
but only you can hear it. Only the player character can hear it.
Of course.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I'm excited for this is I feel like all of the biggest like single player story campaigns nowadays are kind of these big franchises, and this is one that I've never heard of. It's new,
Yeah.
It's not the sixth God of War game. It's not the whatever. It's not another Horizon Zero Dawn. It's not whatever else. It's just something a little new,
That's so silly. Oh look, a new Horizon Zero Dawn game. It's not. It's just Horizon Zero Dawn in a different climate.
Yeah, one in a different direction, literally. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this person's story is. I like immersive, single player campaigns. I really do. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I haven't really got super great characters lately out of it. Like there's been a lot of games where you just kind of play as whoever.
Yeah.
Like some of my favorite games are single player whatevers, but you're not a character that matters in Dark Souls. You're just a random character.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have a specific set character with a specific set storyline and plot.
Yeah.
It's you.
Hero
Name that you entered.
Yep. So I just feel like some part of me is like, all right, I'm itching for a new character, a new person, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Who knows? But it's coming out on the PS5, so not likely. I think it might also be on PC. I have to double check.
Yeah.
And if it is, maybe I'll get to play. I'll just slap it on there, put it on the lowest settings, and go to town. All right. What about you?
Well, Forspoken was also on my list. When I was looking at games that are coming out next year, I was so disappointed not to see Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 in there. So sad. I've been waiting so long, and I was for sure that it was going to come out this next year, and turns out, nope, probably not. But fingers crossed that it might. We have said that a lot this episode, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for everything. But also the Dead Space remastered. Mm-hmm. It's not a new game, it's just Dead Space, but it's going to look better.
Yeah, it's not a remaster, it's a remake. So like a remaster is just them changing some of the settings and some of the things so that it looks better, and there's usually very little like direct recoding, but this is like from the ground up recreating the game, new code and everything so that it runs and looks like a new generation game,
which is super exciting. Dead Space was one of the first, I think it was the first like horror game that I played. Dead Space, Resident Evil, and Evil Within were the first like few really scary games that just threw me right into that, loving that genre of games. And Outlast. I don't know how I forgot Outlast. But
no, but that one's new.
Newish, I guess. But Dead Space was so good. It gave me a tummy ache when I was younger. I was playing it, and I was like, okay, I have to stop because I'm panicking right now. I'm freaking out. And so I'm super excited to see how beautiful it looks, because you're going to be able to see space. Like the creatures are going to look a little creepier, probably.
A little wetter.
The music, the suspenseful thrums of music. Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Me too. It's also on my list. I'm extremely excited for it just because it was my first big horror game. I don't like horror games. I do not. They're not my jam. The one time that you were playing Outlast and you gave me the controller, I immediately ran in a circle and freaked out and fell down a hole and got punched by some pig man. It was awful. It was the worst.
Dead Space just has such a good feel to it.
I think it's because like you're severely outnumbered. You have very little chance of survival.
But you still do. You are the hero.
Yeah, you're barely making it through by the skin of your teeth.
I do appreciate, like, he's going to this ship to find his wife. Once you get on that ship, Like, you as a player playing the game, you're just like, yeah, she's gone, man.
She's long
She's gone.
gone.
We have to get out of here immediately. But then, the power goes out when your team gets attacked. So you can't leave.
Also, like, you're with a bunch of soldiers
Mm-hmm.
who all immediately get fucking ruined. You are an engineer.
Yeah.
You're just there to fix shit.
But you end up being a hero.
Yeah. Well, they all had guns. You had a fucking plasma cutting cannon.
Yeah.
And that was the right choice.
That was the right choice. I think Ethan, is that his name? Or was that the Resident Evil Ethan? Isaac.
Isaac. Yeah,
Isaac.
right.
Isaac. You play as Isaac, and I think Isaac is a really good character. I think he's very strong. Like he's going there to save the woman he loves, his wife. But then after that, he's just this poor boy who just wants to have. He just wants everything to go back to normal. But now he's like in prison for just escaping and trying to live. And now he, is under control of the government or whatever. And you feel so bad for him. And it just makes you love this poor little puppy dog boy.
Yeah. Number 2 is specifically is the one that I think is my favorite just because it has the most focus on Isaac as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think number 1 was like, look at this ship in the world. It's like, and then they almost never actually take off Isaac's mask. You'd like barely see him until like later on in the game. But number 2, you start off with just him. You see him.
You just are Isaac.
And then you build up your armor afterwards. But I love it.
Yeah. Number 3 is not good.
Yeah.
You can just say that. I remember when I was going to buy it, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna love this one if you like dinosaurs," and I was like, "Excuse me?"
What did you just say to me?
What?
Dinosaurs?
And he was like, "Yeah, they got like little velociraptor aliens in it," and I was like, "Well, that makes me nervous, but okay." And rightly so. There were some really disturbing parts in it, especially with like the alien baby things, but the velociraptor aliens were really lame. And the love triangle was not thrilled. I was not thrilled with a love triangle. Don't do that to me, please. This is a horror game, and sure, you can put love in it, but it just felt...
Forced and bad?
Yeah.
Well, it also felt like... So Isaac is supposedly the nerd, despite the fact that he has,
The buff man who's killed like hundreds of aliens by now.
and can also stomp through bone with his fucking feet.
Yeah. Crunch. I love it.
But the entire movie, the entire number 3 is just like, this jock is fucking your wife and is gonna bully you for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
Work together. What the fuck is this shit?
I do kind of want to play, what is it, the Calypso project? Am I saying this correctly? Calypso?
Callisto Protocol.
Callisto, not Calypso. Callisto Protocol. I said Calypso Project. Well, I was close. I have seen Markiplier play it a little bit, and it does seem a little glitchy still, and like maybe obviously it's not going to be as good as Dead Space, but it definitely, you can tell it's made by
The same people.
the same people. So I do kind of want to play it. I don't think the creatures are as interesting, and I don't think the main character is going to be as lovable as Isaac. But I still want to potentially play that once it's
Touched up.
fixed up a little bit.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, last one. I have 2, but I'm just gonna pull them out as one.
Okay.
Because one is One Piece Odyssey. I don't think it's gonna be a good game, but I am excited to check it out. Like, it's one of my favorite series. Whenever something big of it comes out, I gotta give it a try. And it's the first like open world One Piece game, which whatever the fuck that means for One Piece, I don't know. And it looks fun and gimmicky. I'm in to give it a try. But the one that I'd actually am excited to try to really play is a game called Black Myth Wukong. I like Wukong as like a character, as a mythological thing or whatever. And there's a lot of things based on it, but this is actually just, he is the main character. And you get all this funky little powers. And the main crux of the game is just like a boss crawl. Like you go from one boss to another, beat them up, take their power. Next. But I'm excited to give it a shot. I don't know if it's going to have any of the I don't know if the plot is going to be at all related to Journey to the West or what have you. But Wukong's cool. His powers are sick, and the game looks like it's fun to play.
Honestly, that's all that really matters. It doesn't have to look beautiful. As long as it's like fun, entertaining, and has a good plot, I feel like any game could be good. And I say this while also never wanting to play like a pixelated game. Like never having the desire to do that. When I know in fact, that there are games that look retro or pixelated. That's terrifying. I turned this. Look, it's all the way down.
That's not the alarm. That's not. Yeah, there you go. Oh. This turns off the volume of like sound in general, but that little ring, the little bell, is what turns off your ringtones.
Well, I've peed myself a little bit. Anyway, hallelujah. My blood is vibrating. What was I saying? Oh,
Games don't have to be good,
I
but
know there are games that are good that look ugly. That's all. I will call my mom back in a second. Yeah, I have 2 games left. I will also just flop them in. So the first one is Bramble, the Mountain King. I have also watched some YouTubers play it. Well, the one. I watched Gab Smolders play it. She, I think, is the only person who that I like that plays it, or that I know of that played it. And it was just a demo, but it looked so atmospheric, and like it starts off a very cute, very beautiful, vibrant, and gets very dark. So you play as Olle, O-L-L-E. Ole. You play as this boy who is trying to save his sister who has been kidnapped from a very gruesome, infamous troll. And it has a lot of Nordic fables. It's based off of that culture and that world, those myths, which I'm super excited for. I do think Nordic myths are pretty dope. And I do tend to favor them over the Greek ones. So I'm really excited to see that entire game. From what I have watched of it and previewed of it, it looks fantastic.
what was it called again?
Yeah, it's called Bramble, the Mountain King.
Bramble.
It comes off as a very like peaceful, fun, laid-back game, but then you keep playing it and it becomes dark, and there's creatures of myth, terrible, gruesome creatures after you. In one scene in the beginning, you are traversing through this pond, swampy area, and this creature, who I'm not familiar with, is sitting playing an instrument, a violin, I believe, and they hear you like crack a twig or something, and their head just swivels towards you, and it doesn't sound terrifying, but in game it is one of the most terrifying things. And I love trolls, especially like rock trolls. That was it. And they have such great imagery of them, and like, I don't know. I just like, I'll go on a hike and I'll see a clump of rocks and be like, maybe that's gonna be a troll at night. Super excited for Bramble. I do want to play that. And just a side one is called Ad Infinitum, which is just another of your typical horror games, survival, story-based sort of thing, that is taking place during the Great War, or World War I believe. And you play as a German soldier, and there's literally hell on earth. Like, there's weird creatures, and you're dealing with PTSD and family drama, and it looks not like super. That's a movie.
That's not it.
It doesn't look like specifically like special or anything, but it was just something that, you know, I saw while I was scrolling through, and I was like, oh, maybe that'll be fun. I like weird creatures. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm really super excited for Bramble. I know there are other games, other movies, TV shows that are coming out that I'm super excited for, but we could not fit them all in because we have been talking for a while now and rambling on. So
yeah, and our natural light has gone, so we are just
now we just kind of look spooky. Hopefully, you can still see our faces. Even though we were backlit, we should probably have lights in front of us as well. But
hey.
You know what? Why don't you guys just pay us? Give us money, and then we can. No, seriously, we just do this because it's fun.
Okay, I found Ad Infinitum. It's on Steam.
Yes, it is on Steam.
You can add it to your wish list.
Yes, sir. Comes out in April.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Exactly. So, unfortunately, Senua does not have a release date. Hellblade 2. It's freaking, I love that game so much. And neither does Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is very disappointing. Because that has been coming out for 10 years now. Might be an exaggeration, but feels like it 10 years.
It's not much of an exaggeration.
I need to see the Pigman. But yeah, I think that's all for us today.
It sure is. Thanks for watching. If you are excited for anything this year, let us know.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll keep an eye out for it. All right. Bye.